The Board of Trustees of the Harris County Department of Education is now convened in a regular board meeting on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025, in room 401 at 6300 Irvington Boulevard, Texas, at 1:02 p.m. We wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present at this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and set policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the department are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on today's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking time today to join us and for your interest in the Harris County Department of Education. Hello, everyone. All right, so we will begin with invocation. And we have Janet Walks. Janet Walks.
Yeah, if you could bow your heads and hello. Sorry, y'all, this was written when my big brother passed away, and so it just takes me a sec, but we'll get there because God is good and he gave it to me. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we give thanks this day for the great blessings you have provided us. We thank you for the gifts and talents you have given each and every one of us here to be used to help others as you guide us, saying, "The footsteps of a righteous person are ordered of the Lord." With your guidance, we are here at HCDE to serve, protect, and encourage our community so that they may in turn show the same kindness and caring towards others. We will turn obstacles into making opportunities using these talents all to your glory. May these words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Janet. All right, next we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Perla Hernandez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, we have no one for open forum, so we will move on to reports and presentations. And we're going to start with recognition of Juneteenth.
President Hinojosa, members of the board, Mr. Colbert, tomorrow is Juneteenth, which has become a federal holiday and has been celebrated around Texas for a couple years. So the comms team put together a video to honor and recognize this new federal holiday.
On June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, finally received news of their freedom. This day, known as Juneteenth, marks a powerful moment in our history, and it began right here in Texas. Following emancipation, education was an essential next step to empowerment. For generations, African Americans were denied access to education and self-sufficiency. More than 90 schools were built in the years that followed, creating spaces where Black communities could learn, belong, and redefine freedom on their own terms. We honor Juneteenth by continuing the work of excellence through education. From Head Start classrooms to adult learners, Harris County Department of Education supports educational access and opportunity for all, 365 days a year. Because education keeps us moving forward. HCDE proudly celebrates Juneteenth.
All right. Next is the Superintendent Monthly Report. Mr. Colbert?
Thank you. I just have two things to update you to. You have a couple of reminders at your station. First, on July 24th, 2025, we have a Professional Translators Conference. This is a first time we're doing this. I'd like to thank Stephanie De Los Santos for all of her hard work. She has advocated for translation with Harris County Department of Ed tirelessly for a number of years, and this is really the culmination of that. So hopefully this will be the first of many to come. The second flyer that you have is for the 2025 convocation. Our theme for this year is HCDE is varsity. We will explain more of what that is all about when y'all come to convocation, but you are also driven with a task prior to coming to convocation. If you do choose to partake and come to our convocation, we would ask that you look in your closet, or you may have a box in the attic or a storage unit, and you need to dig through it and find the old pair of sneakers that you wore in high school. Your favorite pair of sneakers. Now, some of y'all, that might be some Nikes, some Jordans. Others may have some K-Swiss or British Knights, and some folks got Converse, Chuck Taylors. Not much cushion in those shoes. But I would invite you that if you can't find them, or your foot might be a little bit larger now, Trustee McGee, that you might get on Amazon or whatever and try to find those favorite pair of sneakers, that the ones that you always wanted, you might not have been able to afford them. And I would invite you to find those sneakers and wear those and bring them to convocation along with your spirit. This is an annual event that we do where we like to come together as a family, have fellowship, and also to get fired up for the beginning of the school year. And so this is the first invitation for that. It will be on August 8th from, I'm going to put my glasses on. We'll open doors at 8. The program will begin at 10. With that, that's all I have.
Thank you. And we'll move on to the annual division update with communications and client engagement.
Good afternoon, President Hinojosa, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Colbert. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to highlight HCDE's Marketing and Client Engagement Division. As a Director of Marketing and Client Engagement, I'm Stephanie De Los Santos, by the way, if somebody didn't know. It is my privilege to begin today's presentation by introducing you to the members of the HCDE marketing team. I'm going to start with Janet Walks, who's our Assistant Director. If you can please stand and stay standing. Lynette Gonzalez-Tonsel, Client Engagement Coordinator. Luis Sanchez, Marketing Coordinator. Wendy Utterback, Translations Coordinator, the one I was tirelessly asking for. Jade Swan, Administrative Assistant. And we are currently looking for replacing our Marketing Coordinator, who just recently left because he moved to Dallas. So we have that opening and we're interviewing. But you'll see in the picture an extra person in there. We have an honorary guest team member, Jasmine, and she is my daughter. She's joining us today. So I will say that although we are small in number, we are mighty in the quality of work that we produce. which I truly believe makes us the best team here at HCDE, as many other division directors say. Collectively, our small but mighty team has done exceptional work. We love that word. Throughout the year, as you will see in today's presentation. MCE continues to push forward in achieving division goals by providing marketing support to our revenue-generating divisions and non-revenue generating divisions, as well as overall marketing efforts of HCDE. The various ways we support HCDE are through trade shows and email marketing. There's a longer list here, but I'm just going to highlight a few. Translation services, podcast, event support, advertising, swag, and much more, as you can see on this slide. A few highlights for this year is we received 11 state awards, including Best of Category at this year's Texas Public School Relations Association, which we call TSPRA, conference in February. We've done approximately 20 presentations, which include trainings, vendor member workshops, TSPRA and PRSA breakout sessions, online learning, CRM training, and of course, PTIC presentations. The best of category was for the inaugural EFHC Heart of Education fundraiser luncheon program booklet. We were very proud of that. So key highlights, the final key highlight that I have today is that we are launching on July 24th, MCE is launching HCDE's inaugural Professional Translators and Interpreters Conference, also known as PTIC. This is the first of its kind in Texas. We had to go to California, to get our training, but we're bringing it to Texas, and we're excited about that. Each of you should have a printed invitation in front of you, and we hope that you can attend, at least for a little bit. The next few slides that I will quickly go through contain the work we have done throughout the year by the number. We have designed and pushed out more than 30 e-newsletters and podcasts. We continue to put systems in place and processes in place in an effort to work smarter and not harder. Key this year, we were able to assist Fortis Academy in their accreditation process with a strategic marketing plan and a crisis PR plan. We have attended 30 trade shows and have distributed more than $10,000 worth of HCDE swag. So you can be sure that the HCDE name is out there. This year alone, we sent out more than 350 e-blasts, and executed 40+ email marketing campaigns. We also assisted with more than 30 events. Other areas of accomplishment includes welcoming 120 new members for CP, more than 150 translations and interpretations, more than 80 advertisements and PSAs, and more than 350 social media posts on LinkedIn and division social media platforms. We are looking forward for the next year to continuing increasing the visibility of HCDE and the various divisions at conferences and through presentations. Thank you for your time. Oh, what questions do you have? I was trying to get away from that, but.
Any questions from the board?
I would just like to say how hard our marketing team actually works. When we go to these conferences, okay, Trustee McGee's got his heart out. I thought I hid that from him, but he's found it.
I can't do it right.
The exhibit halls are huge with hundreds of different companies with tons of swag. And, I like to always make our way in finding our booth. And I'm always like, man, y'all have been standing here for hours. You gotta be exhausted.
We get the carpet though.
Yes, but it's always cool to bump into people during the sessions who've actually stopped by the booth and they've got some of our stuff. And I just really appreciate all the support that you provide, not only to representing HCDE externally, but also helping us internally. We just recently had the signing day where, somewhere in there is the DNA from, our comms department is embedded in some of the things that
Marketing.
yeah. And so I would also say that, an important thing is promoting the services that we provide. I had a lunch yesterday with Region 4's executive director, and it's just interesting that as similar as we are in some ways, they still don't know some of the things that we do, and they're surprised, like, man, that's really unique. We didn't know that y'all did that. And so, but the people that we provide the services do. So thank you to you, Stephanie, and your department. Y'all do an excellent job, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, now on to communications. I'm Lindsay Sanders, Director of Communications and Creative Services. I also want to start by introducing my team. When I say your name, please stand. Angel Verdejo, who's already standing over there. Carl Glatzel's our Graphic Design Manager. Debbie Sanchez-Treese in the back, Multimedia Manager. Oliver Dyke, our Web Content Coordinator. Razak Akorade, Creative Content Coordinator. I skipped Juan Lopez, Creative Content Coordinator. Mitzi Loera, Multimedia Production Coordinator. Jessica Liang, also in the back, Multimedia Content Coordinator. Shelby Trahan, Communications Coordinator. Shelby Buckteen, Events Coordinator. And Emily Ortiz, Administrative Assistant. Give them a round of applause, please. I also want to play a quick video. I can't get up here and not play a video from our communications team. And so it's just an overview of HCDE and our services. This was played throughout social media, a lot of our events that took place this year, to just give our audience an idea of what we do. Okay, so how do we support HCDE? Okay, I'm just gonna, we do it through internal and external communications, storytelling through a number of different channels, through our website and intranet, social media, photography, graphic design, and video production like you just saw, through publications, through media relations, reputation management, and event planning as well. And so through this, we touch every division in HCDE. I will quickly go through some data highlights from the last year. I want to start with our website. We currently maintain 217 pages on the website, over 3,000 documents, and we received 1.3 million views on all of our websites combined this last year. Videos, the video team produced more than 100 videos. Photo team shot, edited, and published more than 3,000 photos. We saw a huge uptick in our video views this year, more than 1.2 million views on social media and through YouTube. And specifically on social media, our views went up more than 100% this year. Print and digital assets, we printed more than 6,000 pieces, and this could be anything from flyers for an event, signage for many of our events, ECWC and things like that, and then quad folds for our schools and our external divisions. The writing team produced more than 213 stories that went on the blog and our internal communications. And then each week, we produced 2 digital newsletters, and so overall that was about 95 newsletters. The connector that goes to the board every Friday, and then the hub that goes directly to inboxes for staff every Monday. Social media was also, we saw a huge uptick in social media this year. We almost doubled our posts, and with that we saw a 10% increase in audience growth across 3 of our platforms. That includes Facebook, X, and Instagram. We also had more than 6 million views across all of our platforms, so that was a real highlight for us this year. And then events, we have an event coordinator on staff, so they help plan and support 13 different events, including our picnic in the parking lots for staff, our annual celebration of excellence, chili cook-off, and our helping CES with the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Some of our key highlights, internal communications is a huge part of what we do, making sure that staff feel engaged and involved. And so this year in December, we launched the portal, which is our new intranet. This enhanced functionality for staff. It got them more engaged. Each week we have new information, new polls. We even have an HCDE community section with social forums so staff can connect socially as well as professionally. And easier resource sharing for staff. Each division has their own team site, so it's easy to share those resources with their own teams and with other divisions. We have seen over 284,000 views to date on the portal on the website, and then we also have a mobile app. So staff like therapy services that are off-site, they can easily access the portal as well, and we've seen over 28,000 mobile views. Some more highlights are participation in conferences. As Stephanie mentioned, both MCE and communications teams did very well at TSPRA this year. We won 32 statewide Gold Star Awards, including a Best of Award for some of our Head Start promotions. And then the team presented at multiple state conferences, leading sessions on leading multi-generational teams, using AI to enhance videos and events, and then communicating climate and culture through storytelling. We talk a lot about filling the gaps at HCDE. We found a couple of gaps in school communications as well. This past May, we worked with the Chief Communications Officer as well as MCE to lead a Communicating in Chaos mini-conference. We had almost 100 different school communications professionals across the state participate virtually and in person to talk about how we communicate and promote our school districts in a choice environment. This was a gap that was missing in public relations professional development, and so we thought this was a place where we could step in and help school districts with their communications. And then last September, we also held a regional event where communications professionals could come meet media members and media partners to see what they're looking for, how to send press releases, and how to get their events in their newscasts as well. And of course, we have our ongoing marketing campaigns, and we added a new one this year. So the marketing campaigns this year were the overall HCDE awareness campaign, 2 recruiting campaigns, 1 for schools and then 1 for Head Start staff, as well as the new addiction awareness campaign. And looking forward, of course, we always want to expand on what we're doing and deepen the footprint and on the website, social media, and through media relations. We want to enhance our internal communications and employee recognition events so staff feel engaged and get that belonging, that sense of belonging that HCDE is known for. And then, of course, we would love to continue leading school PR support for our surrounding districts. What questions do you have?
Yeah, I'd just like to say comms department is fantastic. And when I meet with other superintendents, it shocks me how aware they are of that department. You know, and I think they're always trying to steal people from our department. Some of them will boldly tell me that too. I appreciate comms for pushing the boundaries with me. You know, I hate filming videos. Hate it. I'd rather do an hour-long speech on stage than do a video. Yeah, I don't do multiple texts either. But I mean, they've had me with wigs on and riding horses or unicorns and so I think what I love about our comms department, because it blends in with so many of our divisions. Perhaps it's the mortar that kind of holds the brick together. We rely on y'all to convey the story, to provide a message, and at times to even respond. And I think our department does a fantastic job of that. In fact, I would consider us the standard bearer when it comes to that. I have seen a number of comms departments seek out to replicate our systems. I think recently when we've done recent activities, we're going to become the hub or the safe space where they can come and learn and build and grow together. And not that we would teach them, but we're the place and space where that happens. Our comms department wins statewide awards and even national ones. And so, you know, it's so in line with what our objective is as an organization and as a system. And for every one of our divisions, which are unique, school districts don't have a lot of our divisions. You know, it takes a very effective comms department to articulate not only what it does, but the impact it has. And I think y'all do a fantastic job of that. So for that, I'm appreciative of all of y'all. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Lindsay, outstanding job, Sanders, and Stephanie as well. And certainly, I do love comms dearly. I just wanted to tell a quick story, if I could. I always want to stop and let you know how much I appreciate your assistance, and I'll brag on Debbie a little bit. Debbie, and I guess Shelby as well. They did the introductory video that's posted on the website for me, and they did such a good job. And this is the part that I really want to share with you. They did such a good job that when my wife and children saw the video, they said, "We can use that at your funeral." I mean, that's literally how good it was. We're gonna hold it back for a while, but that's how good of a job that you did. So in making me look good. So thank you for that. Angel comes and catches me at Super Mentors, but so thank you so much. I just wanted to share that with you. You do an outstanding job. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, up next is Choice Partners.
Wait, it's already open. Well, that doesn't move, does it? Okay, let me play this real quick. All right. Good afternoon, board members. Good afternoon, Mr. Colbert, Ms. Langlois. My name is Jeff Drury with Choice Partners. You know, you say we're the unicorn. We're kind of the unicorn within the unicorn. I think a lot of you guys have heard me before, except our newest trustee. So some of my stuff might be a little old. Anyway, I got to start off just with a little bit of a downer, because I'm going to have to repeat myself from something I said last year, and I know y'all probably don't want to always repeat, but just remember 3 words, and you'll remember. Best year ever. We're tracking $1.5 million ahead of last year, so we're having a good year. So Choice is doing well, and I want to say the reason for that success. We have a number of people, and it's pretty hard for me to stand up here. I'd love to give you a dissertation on everybody in our exceptional team, but I would like for the exceptional folks to stand up for a moment to be recognized. Thank you. I sit here and look at the faces and I see how much has changed within 10 years, but they just keep cranking. We keep having a lot of our folks recruit better and better people. It's a great thing to see, and it's a lot of fun. And as what was it called, the signing day, when Mattress Mac was talking, and he said, if you truly enjoy your job, you're never going to go to work. I haven't been to work in 10 years now. So this is fun. I enjoy it. This is a great time, great team, and we love being part of HCDE. We're going to talk a little bit, just real quick, about who we are, what we do. I think it may be repetitive for some folks, and hopefully our newest trustee may find out a little bit about what a purchasing cooperative is, who we are, what we do. We have these are just numbers, 733 active contracts right now, about a little over 2,500 members. Kind of, if you drew a pie chart, about 37% are K-12 school districts nationwide, not just Texas. We're growing national reach. We just keep going by leaps and bounds as far as going out and going to other states, going to conferences, getting members. We have a little contract with a company called Amazon. I think they're in about 16 or 17 states now. So and we were at 0 2 years ago. So we're we keep growing the footprint also. I know that's always a goal. I hear it in all the board meetings, and so we're trying to do our little part. The comprehensive support, we get a ton of support from folks like MCE, from our purchasing department. They help us with a lot of our events. I think we have only one group that's out this week, but typically in any week, especially in the summer or some of the busy parts of the year, we may be at 3 or 4 or 5 different events, different states, same week. We're out and about all the time, and it requires a lot of work from Stephanie, Lindsay, all the marketing communications teams, obviously Dr. Mesqua and the purchasing people. But anyway, some of our highlights for this year. Probably goes without saying, but we'd like to say that we're an exceptional and a top-performing team, the highest revenue and operating margin per employee for every person that we have, regardless of what job they do. It all contributes to the difference between our cost of operation and the money we bring in. And so that'll be in a slide coming up here in just a second. But it's about $478,000 per employee as far as operating margin. And that's the difference between cost and sale. That's not just total sales. Our expansion and outreach, we've started going to a lot of the ASBO events. We're all familiar with TASBO, K through 12. This year we went to Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina, California, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and we're getting some footholds in some of these places also. But it's tough sledding because people don't like to give up their territory that much. But we're fighting it. Just one of the influences that we come across, lower admin fees. We had a major competitor this year that just finally said, oh, we're going from 2% to 1.5% in a certain group of contracts they have, and it's like we fight kicking and screaming with that race to the bottom, but sometimes we have to follow that race to the bottom in order to get business. So you'll see that in another slide also, where we talk about kind of where the admin fees are going. We kind of have to seem to work a little bit harder all the time. But our team growth, very happy and excited about our team growth. We've got a couple of field reps that have been purchasing directors, and a third one coming on that have worked at places like La Jolla in the Valley, Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, Fort Worth ISD, Dallas ISD, Richardson ISD, and held director positions, things like that. So it's great when they go out and talk to a lot of their friends. They're really not working either. They've worked there 25, 30 years. And I go to these conferences and they're like, hey, Jeff, come over here. Come meet my good buddy. And these are people on the TASBO board and all these people that I couldn't approach in the past. And now we're friends. So our field reps, we've made some nice additions there also. And I'll just read the last part. With aligned goals, success becomes sustainable. It's the difference between simply functioning and truly excelling. We have everybody pulling in the same direction. Makes life much easier for all of us. Key highlights, these are actual numbers before we get to a few of these little graphs. And I know sometimes your eyes glaze over with graphs, but that's kind of how we live and breathe and to understand things. $1 billion in member-reported spend across all contracts for this year, or anticipated. Last year, we gave out over $1 million in rebates. It's our second year. I remember you said, let's try it for a couple of years. I think it's kind of a resounding success, so I think hopefully with your blessing, we're gonna move forward, but this is our second year, and it just seems to keep helping us on and on and on. As far as people want rebates, I know they're calling Christina, Jane, some of our folks saying, where's my rebate? How much do I get in a rebate? That's good when you have them. I'd rather them call us than call someone else, so that's great. 15 new contracts awarded across growing categories, and the expanded national footprint. We talked about that just a second ago with some of the ASBOs. We also go to places like NIGP, government procurement, and NAEP, which is educational procurement, national shows. Been to Florida, South Carolina, Colorado, a lot of different places. So we're getting more exposure across the U.S. with that also, with those type shows and groups. Okay, these are just some of the numbers that we were talking about. And you can see this past year it was 12.8. I think we're projected, just depending, again, we have about 2.5 months left, so we don't know how the year's gonna end up, but we should be at or above that number from last year. And if you look at the orange graph, our expenses haven't gone up crazy. We're still right there, 2 million, 2.5, whatever the number is. And then that gray graph, that's what you really wanna look at. That's that net operating margin. It seems to keep growing and growing as long as we can kind of keep our expenses in line and keep adding revenue, adding fees, if you will, admin fees. We will continue to do well. Margin per employee, this is what I was talking about, and that's what I think this is that's one of the most beautiful graphs in my opinion, is that, I know, it's as beautiful as a graph can be, is that we're at almost $500,000 per employee, and that's after covering expenses. That helps go back to help out HCDE, the community, everything else that's out there that we do. Admin fee, this is not the most fun slide, but it is what it is. I think the number between the 2.37 and 1.37 is about 35% decrease, which, you know, it's like paying your bills with 35% less income than you had last year with the same expenses. So we have to keep increasing that expense because the dollar amount of billing, because those percentages keep going down and down. Oh, I went a little too far. Okay, how do I back it up? Previous. Oh, no, that's it. Okay. All right. Some of the priorities we have going forward is hiring, empowering staff with meaningful training, enabling them to succeed early, help drive the cooperative's growth. We've had nice this year as far as adding some employees and some headcount next year. We've already got, I know Dr. Sylvester and his team, we've already got all those things posted, and we're ready to rock and roll and bring some people on to help grow our team and get going there. We're going to engage in some of, we call them CP-hosted engagements and orientations. We've actually had a little bit of a lull. I know we've had a few things happen in the building recently, but we just need to get back to doing more of those. People like, I think there's still a little bit of that COVID effect that's still there. People still like to engage and be around people and interact. So we need to start doing some of those, not only local hosted at NPO and or Irvington, but we've had them in places like Arlington, Fort Worth, Grapevine, San Antonio, down in the valley. So those are places that we need to get back out to more, and our filling of some of the spots with the field reps being out there, knowing a lot of our customers is really helping accelerate that back also. You know, just a lot of the other things are fairly self-explanatory. Continue the path, building consistent operations, measurable performance metrics. So we not only like to work, we like to have fun. These are a lot of our events that we've had in the past. Our celebration last year for having the great year in the bottom left. In the top, I believe that was Tasbo last year. That's their big show in February, March of every year. And that was our award ceremony in January, and Mr. Colbert spoke. We've had him come for a number of years. We want to continue that. And Miss Arlita with Employee of the Month there. That was a great honor for her. And this is one of our field reps, Bethany, at one of our trade shows. So we don't just only focus on numbers. We like to have a lot of fun. And look, our picture in the middle was supporting Trina and the Harris County Education Foundation. You see our cheerleading team here with Dr. Amesqua there. Looks like he's working hard there. I don't know if anybody want to have to do all that hard work. Pink Day, so we love to participate. We had our little card that went out with all of our faces on kind of Christmas boxes or whatever that marketing and comms, I guess it was marketing. Sorry, Stephanie. All right, sorry. Just marketing. Sorry, Lindsay. I don't want to give you false credit, Lindsay. But and then a lot of our shows we have themes, and as Mr. Colbert doesn't like wearing his unicorn hat and all that, I can't tell you that I just really cherish this stuff. But being a good sport, I get to dress up in some funky outfits, and so does our whole team. And our whole team really gets into the spirit. And like I said, I don't have to work. I haven't had to work a day in my life for about the past almost 10 years now. So I'm just going to let y'all look at that and read that. And we'd also like to thank our ELT member, Dr. Michelle Williams, that helps us out and helps lead us and advise us on things. And I'd like to know what kind of questions you have for us.
Any questions from the board?
Yes, sorry.
You're on.
Am I on?
You're on.
Hello there.
Thank you for your presentation. I do recall a lot of your priorities are similar to in the past. So I just would like to say that if there's anything that we need to do to invest in your team culture, your hosted engagements and/or the strategies for member-driven operatives, please let us know. Because I do recall these priorities being a priority before. And so please just let us know if there's something we could do, especially with investing in team culture.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, Choice Partners, I call y'all the Excalibur because you're really like the secret sauce to really Harris County Department of Ed's success. We would not be able to build new schools if it wasn't from the revenue of Choice Partners. We would not be able to lower the tax rate at the rate that we've been doing for over 10 years in a row if it were not for Choice Partners. We would not be putting money into fund balance if it wasn't because of Choice Partners. We wouldn't be able to lower fee structures to the services that we provide to ISDs where they're getting services below cost if it were not for Choice Partners. The interesting thing about Choice is that amongst their tribe of all the different buyer co-ops, they're an anomaly. Their people are not getting commissions and bonus checks and going on these fancy trips and doing all this stuff, and they're not doing that at all. They have a different mission that's more of a righteous mission, and they believe in the mission of Harris County Department of Ed, where we're trying to serve the community, the public, and they see themselves, even though they could easily be a private entity, but they embrace the mission of a public servant. And so I so appreciate our Choice Partners, and I believe in everything that y'all are doing. Jeff is a workaholic. We played in a golf tournament last week, and he's on his freaking phone half the golf tournament talking to Steven. CJ's yelling at him, "Get off your phone, man. You got to putt. Come on, Jeff." And I'm like, someone go hit for Jeff. He's on the phone, and it's like, it's nonstop. And so, it's really kind of the engine to the organization that helps propel us forward because we know we have something that generates revenue, unlike any division here it's designed to do that. And so you have an exceptional staff that's dedicated to supporting Harris County Department of Ed. They are focused and experts at what they do. Y'all have a good morale, and y'all are always doing something corny.
Goofy.
It seems like dressing
Yeah.
up as Batman or whatever.
Yeah, Tricia's not here. She's usually the ringleader for the goofiness. Yeah.
It's hilarious. So I just really want all of y'all to know how much I appreciate y'all, and I know the board does too, and we appreciate everything that you do for Harris County Department of Ed. So
Before I sit down, can we have them stand one more time?
Yes, let's give
I
them
thought
a
they had a great team.
Trustee McGee is
Thank you,
throwing
sir.
a heart. You know, I thought we were on
I
Kiss the Brain.
wasn't going to say anything, but I was hoping that we'd get the nod there. Okay. I was going to open with that and say there's nothing on underneath here. White T-shirt. I knew you didn't want to see that again. Once is enough. All right. Nothing else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any reports from board members concerning attendance and participation in board or HCDE-related conference, I figured?
I just want to update that I was able to attend the Summer Leadership Institute for TASB last week, and it was amazing. As always, there were several sessions that I was able to attend that I got some new information, which I think this was the 4th conference I've attended. The only one that I didn't attend was in 2020. But year after year, we're still able to get wonderful information from these sessions, and they're really fabulous to attend. It was incredibly fun, and we were grateful for the company that we had there. So attend if you can, guys. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right, any reports from committees? And on to monthly financial reports. Dr. Mesqua.
Clear in the room.
I'll let them clear out.
Not during the summer.
I was looking for it too. I was like, oh, it's June.
All right. This is the these are the financial highlights as of May 31st, 2025. And I want to make a preview announcement. We have a notice coming from the Transparency Star from the Controller's Office. We should get it formalized next month. We have 4 stars, and we're getting a 5th star on pensions.
Oh, there's 5 stars?
There's 5 stars. That's as many as we can get. There's actually a 6th star, but we were not eligible for that one. So we'll get it next month.
How many stars do they go up to?
6. They only go up to 6. But, the highlights for May: 173 in K in tax revenue this month. Debt service payments, our next one is in August. We're at 69% year-to-date revenues and 62% in expenditures. 47 million in equity as of May, 50,011 in March donations. Values at 660 billion out of 665 billion projected. 7.3 million benefit variance, and you'll see more of that from Choice when we get to that slide. Foundation at 286,000 K in equity. 10% small business report will be later on in the slide as well. 99% of the urban project, and they're all just pending the retainage release to complete those projects. And I just want to mention to you at the end of the meeting, we send it to you electronically, but we have the budget book that we'll give you so that you can take with you. We'll have the budget workshop next week. And so we'll have a copy for you. We'll give it to Jessica to distribute. And then we have some budget amendments that we'll review through the process. So budget calendar, June 24th is our board workshop here. And then we'll have July 16, another workshop and budget adoption. Tentatively, we'll receive the certified values around August 25th, and then determine if we need to adopt in September 17 or in October, depending on whether we're going to, depending on the values and whether we are above or below the no new revenue rate. We will see that based on the new truth in taxation calculations. In terms of the balance sheet, we're at 52 million in assets, 3 million in liabilities, and equity of 47 million. We have 14.2 million in excess revenues over expenses as of May, which will be utilized between now and August. Our ratios, financial ratios, we are at 43% in fund balance in the general fund. And working capital ratio, it's a little higher at 48 million than a year ago. Our unassigned fund balance, we're at 42% of total, and debt to income ratio, we're at 4.5. Our combined debt still at 82 million as of May 31st. The tax revenue to total revenue ratio, we're at 29%. And then our indirect cost ratio is at 2.7%. The fee-for-service revenues were at 19%, the same as last year. And then the growth is actually negative at this point in time, primarily because some of our contracts that have been, because we didn't receive them because of the hold at a couple of the divisions, and then also a school that we could not take on additional contracts. We have previous budget amendments. We had 350,000 Leadership Academy, Prairie View Grant Match, facilities, and then tax reduction. And we have a new budget amendment for 1,789,450, and primarily is for the supplement the NPO HVAC system. Again, budget to actual, we're at 69%. And expenditures or outflows are 62% year to date. Donations are $50,011 for the month of May. And primarily those were donations that were made for Head Start, the different Head Start centers. Year to date, the collections in terms of the property values, we started with 665 billion. And right now, we're only at 660 billion, so we'll have about 5 billion reduction, which means we'll have a loss of potential earnings of that tax revenue going forward because of the values that came in lower than the previous when we started at the beginning of the year. Year to date in taxes, we are at 30,690,549, or 95.7% collection from budget to actual. In terms of year-to-date payments to HCAT and Harris County Tax Office, we're 734,248 in terms of our payments for appraisal and for tax collection. We're at 95.7% collection rate, where last year we were at 99% collection rate, and a lot of that has to do with the values that are lower than we projected at the beginning of the year. Disbursements, we're at 157. We're 15,752,258. There's one extra zero in there. It's 448 transactions, 652 P cards, and 6 transfers in them. All the information is posted on our webpage. In terms of the segment division, we have benefit variance subsidy of 1,260,236 for Center Education Success. Records management, 585,986. Therapy, 1,783,194. And schools, 4,686,552. And we have a positive variance in the choice of 7,365,259. Our budget amendments is for APO HVAC system. $1,789,450. And then also appropriating $361,000 in interest earnings for the capital projects. In terms of the special revenue funds, we have additional increase in revenues for CASE, $23,104, $35,000 OST CARES, and then also we have adult education, the new round that starts on July the 1st, $2,796,823. In terms of our foundation, equity of $286,495 as of May 31st. And you have all the detail as to how is that allocated in the foundation. In terms of the least revenue projects update, we have the small business report. And basically, we have the list of small businesses. We have small business contracts of $1,877,932, non-business of $21,268,287, or an 11% ratio from small to large businesses, primarily the percentage of which is above the 10% that we had. It's projected into this various projects. The list is included there of all the different small businesses that make up that 11%. In terms of the PFC and maintenance notes and the total CIP, we have $3,607,910 available in terms of equity and assets available. The retainage that we have pending is $1,257,908. Both PFC and maintenance note, and these projects, as soon as they get completed and turn in all the documentation, we will be able to close those out. In terms of the 2024 maintenance notes, we have available $10,218,069, and we have a retainage of $304,445. Again, all our projects are 99% completed with the exception of the retainage. Same thing in the maintenance notes. They're committed, the majority of them. There's a few that still have not gotten started, so they're at 14% or 11%. Some of the smaller projects that will be also completing those during the rest of the year. So the amounts that, move this out of the way, that are included in our maintenance notes and projects, the available balance, and that totals to $6,779,513. That is still available after all the allocations that have been made to those projects. Irvington was funded by two notes, the 2020 and the 2024, totaling $11,781,519. That's the report for the month of May 2025. What questions do you have?
Any questions from the board?
Okay, then the next one is the investment report. And I believe that they started to meet earlier, but I don't know what the outcome was of the Fed. But our investment report, all posted on our webpage. Again, the Fed funds rate was 4.25 to 4.5. And so the rates right now are between 4.23 available at 1 month and 4.90 in the 30-year. Our horizon is really under 2 years, which is 3.96, 4.23. So as you can see, it's a little bit inverted on between the 1 month and the 2 year. Our portfolio total, $63,765,573. 30% is in Lone Star, 7% in Chase, 14% in Texas Class, 30% in Texas Star, and 19% in tech school. The PFC, it's 345,942, 75% in tech school and 25% Bank of Texas. And in terms of the comparison from a year ago, we are at minus 9% that used the cash or the portfolio that has been utilized. And so we're at 63.7 million, down from 70.4 from a year ago. Again, primarily because we've already spent those dollars or those projects. Our funds are overnight, and we're earning 1,863,335 year to date. And in the PFC year to date is 345,972. We are earning 4.28 on our investment portfolio, and these are the rates. As you can see, they're starting to kind of come down. Here the last 2 months, you've seen a little bit of a reduction of those rates. That's the report for the month of May. What questions do you have?
Great job. It looks like they held steady.
Yeah, we're holding steady. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, are there any consensus items that anyone would like to pull today? Right. So then do I have a motion? A motion by Trustee Davis to approve consensus items, seconded by Trustee Duhan. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Motion passes 2, 4, 6, 0. 5, 0. All right. Action item number 7.1, consider approval of services agreement for the Center for Safe and Secure Schools with Safer Schools Together for the period of 6/19/2025 through 9/30/2027, the amount not to exceed $178,400. Do I have a motion? So moved. Moved by Trustee Duhan. Seconded by Trustee Davis. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Action item 7.2, consider approval of AIA B101 contract with Create Architects for architectural services for 6005 Westview HVAC and roof renovation project. Do I have a motion? Moved by Trustee Duhan. Seconded by Trustee Davis. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Action item 7.3, consider approval of project delivery / contract method of construction manager at risk for the 6005 Westview HVAC and roof renovation project. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee McGee, seconded by Trustee Malik. Any discussion?
Ms. is this related to the budget amendment that we have before us now? Okay. All right, thank you.
Favor? Motion passes 5-0. Number 4, consider approval of change order number 1 with Target Inc. for the purchase and installation of carpet for North Post Oak location in the amount of $88,275. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Duhan. Seconded by Trustee Malik. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. We'll now move into executive session under the Texas Government Code pursuant to any and all purposes permitted in sections 551.001 steps -551.084, including but not limited to 551.071 and 551.074. And we'll move into executive session at 2:06. Okay, we reconvene from executive session at 2:22 p.m. And we'll begin with 9A, consider non-renewing of teachers' Chapter 21 term employment contract for one or more reasons outlined in policy DFBB local. Do I have a motion?
Yes, Madam President, I move to non-renew LaRonica Johnson's Chapter 21 term contract for one or more reasons outlined in HCDE Policy DFBB Local as discussed in executive session, and to direct the superintendent or his designee to notify Ms. Johnson of the board's decision in accordance with applicable laws and policy.
All right, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Seconded by trustee Malik. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 6-0. Item 10, discussion and possible action regarding future agenda items. Do we have any? No? Okay, seeing none. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by trustee Davis, seconded by trustee Duhan. All in favor? Motion passes 6-0. And then with that, this meeting is adjourned at 2:23 p.m.
Great.